You're in a relationship and you wonder how you can practice semen retention while being together with a partner, right? Having sex, being exposed to femininity. It is a completely different game and it's hardly comparable. I'm gonna give you clear steps to build yourself up to a point where you're practicing semen retention in a relationship with all the beautiful benefits. What's up, man? Welcome back to the Masculine Direction. It's good to see you, as always. Without wasting any of your time, let's get into it. First, let me tell you why it's not comparable. In life in general, the greater the resistance that you're overcoming, the more benefits, results, and growth you'll get out of it. In any single thing, we tend to look at the resistance and say, fuck, it's too hard. I don't really see the point in doing it, while in fact it's telling you there is even more point in doing it. Practicing semen retention by yourself is incredibly hard. Practicing semen retention in a relationship is even harder. By law of nature, you can already expect that the fact that you have access to sex, that you're being exposed to a woman that you feel empowered with and attracted to, that then choosing retention simply adds a whole nother dimension to the benefits you are experiencing. Semen retention is about self-control. So if you control yourself while having the option every single day to have sex and to release, that is a higher level of resistance and thus a higher level of growth that you're getting out of this. This is a really important concept to understand before getting into it. Otherwise, you will simply compare it to as if you were single, simply looking at how long are you retaining. But the thing is, it isn't comparable. Understand that the achievements and the big wins of semen retention in a relationship isn't as much how long can you go, but is more attuned to the level of resistance that you are overcoming in certain situations, right? Situations where you're having sex and you manage to control yourself. Moments where you felt like you had sex not anymore because of ejaculation or to release, but to build energy. Things like this are of a different nature. It's just a different game and it's not comparable. So regardless of whether you're in a long distance, you live together, you don't live together, you see each other frequently or non-frequently, there's one universal approach. You can follow these steps and slowly get to the point of actual semen retention in a relationship. And trust me guys, it's worth it. It adds to your character in ways that semen retention by yourself doesn't. Here we go. Guys, as you are aware, my channel's only purpose is to help create masculine role models. I started using this app myself as they reached out. I think every man that is on semen retention should, as default, have this app and be in this community. So I don't have to tell you guys, you're already aware that porn is one of the most fast spreading problems that affects millions and billions even on this planet. And to effectively quit porn, you need a companion like Blocker X. Blocker X is an app that helps you quit porn forever. It's very hard to quit this addiction when you don't have the right people around you and that find this addiction normal. And that's where the Blocker X community will help you stay motivated. It has currently over 100,000 active members that are all trying to quit porn or are simply on their semen retention journey. The reason why most blockers don't work is because you can simply uninstall them. With Blocker X, you cannot uninstall unless it's permitted by your buddy. You can also add other websites, apps, and keywords to the block list, send daily reports to your buddy, deactivate apps through strict mode, access courses that help you stay in your semen retention journey, and many other features. If you intend to start your semen retention journey or you're already on it, I strongly advise you to download this app. To me, it feels like an absolute must. Use the link in the description and in the pinned comment to install Blocker X and start killing it on your semen retention journey. Step 1. Baseline retention. When you are not seeing your partner, you are not releasing, you're not watching porn, you're not masturbating. You either might already be at this point, but if you're not, simply why are you in a relationship where you feel the need to masturbate? Or simply why are you choosing to masturbate in a relationship? Something to think about for yourself. But this very simply must be the baseline. And this is your gateway into building up the actual practice in your relationship. First, making it normal that you are retaining and that you see it as an opportunity for retention. When you don't see your woman, she's out of the house for 2 weeks for work. Unfortunately, you'll have to miss her, but fortunately, you'll get to retain. You're on a business trip, you're on a vacation with the boys, Unfortunately, she's not there. Fortunately, you get to retain. Normalize the fact that if you don't see her, you retain, and that is a gift rather than a curse. Step 2 is adopting a retention mindset. And what I mean with that is get rid of the scarcity mindset, or the I get the opportunity to have sex, she wants to have sex, I must take it, right? This scarcity mindset. Or I'm having sex, so I need to release. This is my opportunity to release. That she is giving you an opportunity to lose some steam, to calm down, to relax, and to really lean on it as a crutch. This is all coming from scarcity, and it opposes retention, which is abundance. And so this retention mindset, it means that when you are not coming from a place of scarcity and I need to have sex because we can, you get to the point where you might say, let's tease each other a little bit, and instead of having 3 times shitty sex for 2 minutes, I'm gonna tease her a little bit and build up, and tonight actually have great sex, which is 10 times better than 3 times shitty sex. From a scarcity to an abundance mindset, because in the worst case scenario, you're retaining. Amazing. Rather than the scarcity of I need something from her, or she's giving me the opportunity to do something, you always have something amazing to fall back on. Creating energy while having sex is amazing, but if not, I'm creating energy through retention. So really there is full abundance. And how this step 2 expresses in your relationship is you choosing sometimes to build up arousal, having sex later, and choosing quality over quantity, right? To practice your response to her offering sex and you initiating sex by understanding, by valuing the retention that's on the other side of not having sex. So in this step, you'll really build up some lightness, some freedom and discipline for you to proceed to the next step, which is conscious releasing. This is where it gets a little bit harder. Every single man knows the difference between a release that was called for and that was empowering and amazing, and a lot of the other releases that were simply mechanical, automatic, unconscious decisions just because you trained yourself through masturbation that ejaculation is the goal, it's the end station, and that's it. What you want to be doing here is becoming aware of, hey, the 3rd time we're having sex today. Do I really feel releasing here will be something empowering for the both of us? Is it really something that I want? Start eliminating first these very easy ones. You already had sex multiple times a day. It's even a challenge for you to release at this point. You really have to work for it. Start consciously not releasing in those moments and expand further on this until you feel that you are only releasing when it absolutely feels amazing. How can you check if you did it correctly? How do I feel after? Because if you have this unconscious release, this jerky mechanical response to I guess this is what I learned to do, you always feel a bit empty after, even with her. Right? It never feels really good, and this is how you can check, okay, this was one of these moments where I should choose to consciously not release. And of course, this is the point where we actually start managing our release, right? So this poses, of course, the additional challenge of controlling your release. In 2 days, I will release a video on all of this, how to basically last as long as you want and how to have dry orgasms. If you're interested in that, check that video out. If you are on this step 3 and you're practicing conscious release, and so you've made yourself aware, okay, this is not one of these moments I want to release. What you want to do is, as soon as you feel like you're escalating and you are going to release, you want to contract your pelvic muscles and draw your hips upward. Just an extended movement of when you would want to stop peeing. You will either prevent the escalation of the release, or the energy will actually shoot upwards. And this is how you can have dry orgasms. Again, more about this in the video below. Okay, so now you should have a baseline retention, right? You're retaining when you're not with her. You actually changed your mindset regarding sex and releasing, changing the scarcity to abundance. And further, you solidified this by actually practicing conscious releasing. So you're not anymore releasing in the moments where it's just not called for, and even in moments where you simply don't want to. So now you're ready to actually start practicing semen retention in a relationship. And it looks like this. You are managing your retention as you go, right? If you want to challenge yourself a little bit, you have sex for a few days without releasing. You're firstly managing and in full control of your ejaculation, and you choose when you release and when you don't. If you release, you choose how much you release. Again, when you contract your pelvic floor muscles as you are releasing, in a more easy way, you stop releasing. So you are literally choosing how much you empty the tank. 25%, 50%, 75%, completely up to you. And this really has a significant impact, I can tell you. If you choose to release only half after 10-15 minutes or an hour, put you almost back in your normal state. It is different than edging, because edging isn't building energy really. It's simply building arousal. Having sex with a partner you feel empowered by, this builds energy. During sex, you together build energy. And you choosing to keep that energy takes it with you. It puts you in a highly energetic state, and it just makes you feel amazing if you just had great sex, chose not to ejaculate, and even keeping the energy that you built together. It is a different level of self-control and transmutation when you are completely choosing when you release. And if you release, how much you release. It also has a very positive and exciting impact on your woman. I can tell you that when you start practicing this, she's gonna be very happy. Not only allows you to pleasure her better and longer, it also creates this narrative where you are in full control, which adds to the natural dynamic of you being the masculine and she being the feminine, right? Listen, I cannot give you any time frames or whatever, because that is not the point here. The point here is that you learn to control fully when you ejaculate and how much, and that you actually put this into practice. It isn't necessarily about, okay, great, now you do this for 5 days, because it depends on so many things. How many times are you having sex? How long do you see your woman? Do you live together? All this shit. It doesn't really matter how long you are retaining in a relationship. It just matters that you are retaining in a relationship, and that you choose as you please and as you desire when you want to create a streak of 3, 4, 5 days. It's really a beautiful path you can take that has an incredible potential in front of you. And I can only say for me as well, it's a learning process. I wouldn't say necessarily better or worse, it's just different. It builds benefits in a different way. It makes you feel in control in a different way. It is just incredibly potent and powerful. So with that, good luck on your journey. If you still have some questions, drop them down in the comments. I read all of them. And click the next video, which is gonna tell you everything about dry orgasms, having multiple orgasms as a man, and how you can last as long as you want. For now, that's it, man. See you in the next one.